Tomorrow Reform is going to come forward with some more of your new plans for the economy. You want to find savings, so what would you cut?
Well, the first thing is we need to restore the public finances, because the Tories over 14 years and Labour now have wrecked them. They have wrecked the public finances. And so we've got to ask ourselves, why is it that people watching this programme, year after year after year, their taxes go up? The Tories spent 14 years talking about fiscal prudence. Now they talk about living within our means. Of those 14 years, in every single one of those years, they ran a deficit. They spent more than the revenue they created. They tripled the national debt. They tripled the national debt and blew up people's mortgages. Well, we've already outlined a number of things. Number one, let's talk about foreign aid. We will materially reduce foreign aid for the time being, because it's unacceptable that 15-year-olds in Wales 15-year-olds in an international PISA rankings, have a lower educational attainment than 15-year-olds in Turkey, to whom the British taxpayer sends foreign aid every year. So that's number one.
So you'd cut foreign aid. What else would you cut?
Significantly, at least by 7 or 8
That's
billion
a very
a year.
small amount of the overall budget. So what
Well,
else
it's
would you
7 or
cut?
8 billion pounds a year.
What else would you
go
cut?
a long way. There's plenty of other things. So the second thing is the net zero costs, right? Billions of pounds of which are directly inside government budgets, and then the impact on the economy, Laura, because the UK has amongst the highest energy costs in the world. There is not a single example in human history of a fast-growing economy with high energy costs. So long as we have these insane net zero policies, we will have extremely slow, if basically no growth. GDP per capita, i.e. GDP per person, is currently growing at 0.3%. It's basically not growing at all. That has been the case for a number of years. I'll give you a few other ones. A few days ago, me and Lee Anderson, we gave a press conference. And when Nigel's Prime Minister, we will ensure that those, let's talk about PIP payments and welfare. You know, we only have one half of the welfare conversation in this country, which is ensuring those who need taxpayer support get it. That will continue under reform, but we also must make sure that those who, for example, have low-level anxiety conditions are encouraged back to work.
Can you define that? Because lots of people watching will have heard your announcement earlier this week saying only people with serious anxiety would qualify for the payments that allow them to live and pay their bills if they don't feel able to work. So how would you define that?
Well, the defined term, according to the DWP, to use their term that we're talking about, is around 500,000 people who have anxiety disorders and mixed anxiety and depressive disorders. That's the DWP term. Now, without going into too much detail, because we don't have the time, we anticipate 10 to 20% of those 500,000 will be unable to work and would need to be recategorised. But there is a preponderance of academic research in countries like Holland, in countries like Norway,
so to be clear,
which make very clear for those people with mild anxiety, Laura, the best thing that you can do for them is encourage them back to work.
For people